Hey guys, John coming at you with another Path of Exile video. Now, the reason why we're going to make this video is going to simply be, right now there is a stash tab sale in Path of Exile. This typically happens the weekend after launch. It almost is always the weekend after launch. And basically what we're going to talk about is which stash tabs should you buy, how much it's going to cost you, and how to go about it, and why to do it now versus later down the road. All right, so if you didn't see before, I did post a video actually explaining how stash tabs work, what they do, how to utilize them, how to auto assign them, everything else that kind of goes into the whole stash tab realm. This video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about which ones to buy and the price associated with them, because I think a lot of people will probably be interested that are coming from D4 or other games would like to check out Path of Exile and the quality of life that it has. Unfortunately, you do have to do a little bit of a pay to win to get it, right? And that's going to be the stash tabs. But it's one of those things where it may be worth it to you because this is a free game. So we're going to break it down and explain the costs associated. The most common tabs that I personally use are my currency tab, my divination kit tab, map tab is almost a must, and I think that's really about it. Oh, my buy and sell one. I do one tab that's just buy and sell. It's a quad tab. This isn't really the cheap one, but those are the main ones that I utilize. Okay, so the reason why we're gonna point that out and say it and explain this is because if I go ahead and in game, if you hit M, it's gonna bring up the shop. This is the microtransaction shop. Now from here, you can see I have 4,065 points. This is the guild points here. You can't use any of these unless you are the leader. But if you hit specials, you can see all the stash tabs that are on sale. So notice that you can do guild stash tabs. This is very helpful if you are in a guild, let's say you, or if you want to just share, right? Like if you have a very inclusive type guild, you could share, you could buy all of them just for the guild, and then utilize the guilds that everyone else can utilize. It's really going to be up to you. I know 90% of people out there will never buy this guild currency tab because they don't want to share the currency with the rest of their guild. Understandable, it happens. But the thing to note here is notice that these are all on sale and there's a little bit less of a cost associated. So first off, so that way you guys don't have to watch all the video for those of you who don't want to know, they just want to know, hey, what tabs to buy. This is the breakdown. Okay, so basically what you want to do is I would recommend buying one currency tab, a map stash tab, and upgrade one of your basic tabs that you get, the 4 basics that you get, to a premium tab. That's my recommendation. That's 190 points. That costs you $20. If you're not going to do that, if you're going to do that, awesome. If you would like to know some more to get potentially and why, it's going to be Divination card stash tab and a premium quad tab or the unique collection tab. That's going to run you another $20. So for about $40, you can get majority of the stash tabs that really save space. So now for the rest of the video, I'm going to explain what the difference is between them, why you would want to do that, and if the $20 to $40 range is worth it for Path of Exile. So first things first, you can see here that the currency tab is the #1 tab that I think everyone should have. Why? Because when we look at a currency tab, so if I go ahead and I get out of here and I look at my currency tab, notice all this currency. So these right here, when you control left click, notice that holds 40. Right now, if I were to unload this, notice the room that it takes. Okay, so if you're storing them, what happens is you're going to store a crap ton of them and you're going to run out of space. So these 4 free tabs you're going to have are going to get pretty full. Now notice I utilize these, right? I have more tabs, I have quad tabs, but yeah, I still utilize these ones right here, and that's totally fine. A lot of other people will as well, but then notice that I don't have a whole lot of space already. I'm already running out of space. I'm on my second character. I'll probably make 3 this league. I'm already out of space. That's why like a quad tab is really helpful. Also, if you upgrade one of them to a premium tab, you can actually sell. So then you can turn this into a sell tab and get chaos and currency back. However, once again, that's going to be acquiring more currency. That's why you definitely want to make sure you buy the currency tab. That's going to be the #1 tab sought after for everyone. The next one that I tell everyone to get is going to be the map tab. And the reason being is because with Path of Exile, the end game essentially is doing maps. It's going to be doing like pushing up higher tier. You're going to have to want to go ahead and figure out, okay, which ones do I have done? And this is an easy indicator versus if you were to say go to the Atlas, right? trying to check this for what maps you've done, what maps you haven't done, if they've been witnessed, whatever the case may be. This is a lot more convoluted than simply having a tab here like this that shows you the breakdown, because you can see here currently I have two, like, out of these ones here, these 3 have not been witnessed or have not been completed. You can see the Atlas bonus says complete. This type of quality of life is very helpful. It's very nice. It makes playing the game a lot easier to do. Well worth it, well worth the cost even. So the currency stash tab will cost you 60, the map stash tab costs you 120, and that's once again because of the amount of room that it would take up. If I were to empty out all of these, notice that this says 10, 16, 11, 10. So that right here, this is like almost 50 maps. That is 50 spaces. If we do this, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 by 12 grid at 144. One entire free stash tab would be full off of my first 4 things of maps. Now, yes, this number will fluctuate. It will go up and down depending on how many you run, how active you are. If you buy, sell, trade, you don't have to keep them. If you exchange them, whatever the case may be. But just keep in mind the amount of space that I'm condensing into these premium type stash tabs than if I were to only use the free 4 given ones, or even if I were just say buy the quad tabs and utilize those. All right, so the next one that we're going to talk about is, so that's going to cost you about $20 to get all that. The next ones we're going to talk about is going to be the Divination cards. Now, the reason why we're going to talk about Divination cards is because these are very helpful. Now, you can see, if you go to all, you can see all the ones that are out there. Notice the amount of cards available, okay? There's a lot of them. This also means that this could potentially take a lot of space. If I were to look at the own ones that I have, notice that this is quite a bit of them. Quite a bit indeed. The other nice thing is this also gives you the quality of life of saying, okay, only show me full stacks. So you can have it out of sight, out of mind the entire time by putting your cards in here, and then when they get full, they'll populate and you'll be able to utilize them. So that's the reason why I would recommend the Divination card tab, because you do get a lot of cards in your while playing Path of Exile. All right, so now we have 2 stash tabs left that I would recommend buying. And we're just going to break down the differences between the 2. Now, these are not a must buy by any means. I just highly recommend them because I know for me, it helped me out tremendously. And the first one's going to be the premium quad tab. So the premium quad tab is going to run at 120 points. This is 4 tabs in one. So this is 4 of the standard tabs in one tab. So this one gives you exactly what the entire game gave you to start with. You can buy a 3-pack of these, which is what I did. That's why I have 3 of them. And that gives you a crap load of room. I have never filled these all the way up, at least not in one league. In a standard, that's a different story. But in a league, I've never filled them the entire way up. Unique tab is also one of those that is very much a good and bad one. So as you can see here, it's set up kind of similar, where you can see a percentage of what you've got. You can see which ones you owned. You can see all of the options. Equipable ones you can see here for your class, right? Or unowned, which ones that you need. If you're a completionist, you're going to want this tab so that way you can see how many of the uniques you have. Notice that I've picked up quite a bit of uniques, and I've only like 14% completed on the axes and only 11% completed on staff. So this one in itself adds a lot of possible room savings and keeping stock of what you got. Also notice that when we do all here and we scroll down, this is a lot of space. And also bear in mind that these aren't like maps where they take up one spot. This is just the jewels. This is just the daggers, right? And these are going to take up space. So notice that this is going to take up a 3x3 row. So if you don't buy these, your premium stash tabs or your regular tabs are going to get really full very quickly. So by utilizing and buying the unique tab, it'll save you once again a lot of space, especially if you are a collector of sorts. I know a lot of people like to collect all the uniques in case one of them gets buffed or changed during the meta season, or they just like to be a completionist and collect them all. That's definitely one of the other ones I'd recommend. So total out the door, if you were to buy these, it's going to cost you about $40, and you're going to have to make a decision between a premium stash tab and a unique stash tab. Now, if you are interested in buying these, by all means, you can. You're going to click this buy. So if you go out of the game, hit M, hit buy points, it's going to pull up the shop. This is what we were looking at before, only we weren't looking at points. What you're going to want to buy is this First Blood starter pack, because one, it's $20, gives you 200 points, which gets you just like I said at the beginning, the currency tab, the upgraded premium tab, and it could get you the map tab. But this would come with one cosmetic and one stash tab. So it's a little extra fluff for your buck for $20, because I definitely would never recommend anyone buy these. Now, if you are someone who's going to say buy the $40 pack or willing to spend $40, I would actually recommend that you go and look at these for $60, see if any cosmetics catch your eye. All these, the way they are structured is this is the base, this is the upgrade with the base, this is the there's usually a $90 one too. That's the upgrade with the base and everything below it. So it's always nice to have, but I would recommend buying these, because as you can see here, you spend $30, you get 300 points, spend $60, you get 600 points. This is a free game. This quality of life in itself adds a light years ahead of all the other games out there, and a little bit of support can kind of go a long way in this case. So definitely would not feel bad personally spending any money on cosmetics. As you can see here, clearly I've spent some money on my cosmetics, and I'm okay with it. I enjoy it, I like it. Felt like a good investment. But these stash tabs are absolutely the best investment to get. Make sure you buy this currency one. Go out there during the sale, get them now, save yourself some dollars, because what's going to happen is if you don't, you're going to spend about $30 on what could get you $20 worth. So definitely keep that in mind so that you're not overspending. And yeah, hopefully this video helped you decide on which stash tabs to buy, what the cost is, if it's worth buying on the sale. And if it did, please like and subscribe, leave comments down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.